different this time round. Now, our sound man, the mighty Matt, is down in an old prison pit. I think we can take a look at him. Can we see him?
Oh, gosh, bless him.
Doesn't look overly happy, as he wouldn't be. Why has Matt been placed there? Why Matt in particular? Is there any reason?
Well, the thing is that Matt is... he's done quite a few of these now, and obviously he's been on the live series, he's done a few of the recorded series, and he really is into this. He really does want to get deeper and deeper, but he's so scared of things. When things happen, he really does get scared. And of course, we had that part where he actually passed out and ended up in hospital.
He was rushed to A&E, wasn't he, overnight?
Absolutely. And he just loves it, so we thought we'd put him in there. And I think it was because he was begging us not to.
He's obviously sensing something there, isn't he?
And interestingly, I think we've established in the past that people who are very sensitive and open to it can experience or hear things that maybe some of the more cynical team members don't.
Yeah, I mean,
so we might get some great results.
Exactly. If you shut yourself off to it and you think, I don't believe in any of it, then you're less likely to have something happen to you.
And also in the grand scheme of things, Matt hasn't been on the show for that long, as with Simon, and that it's when you get this new blood in there, quite often that they are more open, and it's great to see.
He's not happy, is he? He's already looking at him. Well, we'll be catching up with Matt throughout the show, of course. Obviously, this show is about people at home, people watching. We really love your input. Julie and Kay standing by to tell you how you can get involved. We've already had some email questions, if you'd be happy to answer them for us, guys.
Yeah, right.
OK, this is from Jane and Lee Stevens from Telford. If you managed to capture a full-body apparition, proved it was authentic, would that be the end of Most Haunted Live, or would you still carry on?
Well, a lot of people would say, oh, well, that's it, you've done it, you've set out to prove, there's no point carrying on, but I don't think. You always want more. As a human, you always want more, don't you? It's in our nature, so, no, I'd definitely keep going. Definitely.
I suppose then the science would kick in, Kieran would come into his element, because the questions you want to ask, something that has survived death, would be infinite.
Absolutely, you want to measure it, you want to find out what it's made of, you want more and more and more all the time.
Well, that's it, you'd want to interview it, and that's that.
On this show?
On this show.
That's a chat show.
Yeah.
OK, this is from Dawn Bullock. We thank you for this, Dawn, from Gwynedd in Wales. What are you most scared of coming across while in Prague? You've mentioned the devil, possibly. Yvette, what are you nervous about, if anything?
I'm always nervous about something following me back to the hotel room or back home.
So you can stay with me tonight, Carl?
I was last night, but again?
I am, though. That's my one thing where I'm absolutely terrified of something like that happening, and people keep saying, oh, that can't happen, that can't happen. But you speak to any member of the crew and they'll tell you the same thing. When you go back to your hotel room and you're lying in bed, the majority of us will keep the television on all night.
That's actually one of the things a lot of people at home don't realise, is when they think, we finish this and we will turn off the cameras and we all wander off to the hotel and go to bed. Quite often, as you well know, we'll sit there and we'll talk to the early hours, because if something's happened, we need to try and make it right in our own minds. And it's quite fearful, we are quite fearful sometimes when we go back.
Another great question here from Heather and Rob McLean from Northern Ireland. Welcome to our Northern Irish viewers. If you had to do a séance in the search for one well-known person from history, who would you most like to speak to and why? Good question.
Well, for me, it'd be easy. It'd have to be Elvis. And I mean, it'd just have to be Elvis, because I'd want to know more about what he did in the 50s and how much of it was true and how much it was false. It would have to be, because I think he's the most fascinating man in history, as well as the most talented man in history, as well as the most good-looking man in history, and the best man in history there's ever been.
Next, Stuart Torval runs him a close second, but we take your point.
Oh, well, yeah.
How about you, Yvette? Who would you most like to quiz?
Henry VIII. Henry VIII, yeah, absolutely. For his fashion, really.
Fashion?
Yeah. No, I'm joking. What was it with the big cod pieces and everything? It was a bit strange. No, what a fascinating man. I would like to have sit down and have a good old chat with him.
Here's another great question from the Piercy family in Wales. Thank you for this. If you could choose one ghost we've encountered or heard about from any series of Most Haunted to manifest themselves, not somebody like Elvis, maybe, or Henry VIII, but somebody that we've had clues about, who would you like to re-manifest and to interview?
I know. Jake.
Yeah.
I'd like to quite happily slap him around the face a few times. Come face to face with him.
Now, Fred Batt, who's back on the show, of course, tonight, a demonologist, says that Jake is like another slang word for the devil. So that might be a bit tricky, that one, going for the devil himself.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm more than happy to have a fight with the devil.
I know you are, yeah, until we get back to the bedroom at night.
The question I always get asked, and I've got experience of this myself, so again, I'm open-minded, borderline sceptic. I stood on the stage with you, I've been in rooms with you, Yvette, and I felt and heard tapping and knocking, which I can't explain, OK? People have always asked me, do you feel you're gifted yourself? Do you feel this is either something that's grown because of the show, or that you've maybe got untapped psychic powers?
Oh no, I'm definitely not psychic, untapped psychic powers, none of that.
Where do you think those tapping noises come from, though?
Well, I don't know where they come from, but it certainly made me know for sure that there is definitely life after death. We will be at home and it will start, and I have conversations with my dad. I don't care whether people think I'm balmy or not, but I do, and it helped me through the grieving period after my dad passed away. It really, really did. I don't know what they are, I can't explain them, but it's, if I don't hear them after a certain amount of time, I panic. Where are they, you know?
But also, I mean, so you've heard these taps, and you know it's no one actually doing it. It's no one on the set doing it. It's coming from places where no one can actually be, and that's the one thing for me, because I'm fairly sceptical about the tappings and the stuff we get, but when you find out it can't be from any actual physical source, you have to think it must be from a paranormal source, and that's. But you know, you've heard them.
The thing with me is, it's not just the sound; it's that slight vibration.
Yeah.
We will, and I know it's been a very shallow stage. We've put up ourselves. Nobody could be under there making that noise, and that's the one thing that, well, among the many things with the show, that constantly nags at me.
But you've actually still got a mark on your hand, haven't you, from RF Raynham?
It was strange that, and when you think about it afterwards, there may be a rational explanation. I spoke to Dr. Kieran O'Keefe, a parapsychologist. I did join you on the séance. It was a cold night. I took my glove off. He said I may have scratched it, but I don't think we probably can't see it. I've still got that small mark. Now, that's from January. I was touching Kath's hand, I think, in the Ouija board session, the séance. I felt something, and it started bleeding afterwards, and it was quite a deep, and it didn't, and it's still there. Yeah. Strange mark.
I mean, it could be from touching someone's hand, because every time I touch Yvette's mum's hand, I get burnt.
On that unsupportive bombshell, we are going to take a break. Good luck to you tonight. It's going to be fantastic. We started in a light-hearted way. Very serious business tonight, though. It's going to be a great night for both of you. Yeah. Stay safe. Good luck. Coming up, Dr. Leslie Smith, our historian, joins us. We've got Fred Batt and Julian Clegg. But most of all, we hope yourselves the other side of this.
From the winding and cobbled streets to the countryside outside the city, Prague is said to be littered with the wandering spirits of the undead. From murder victims to headless knights to witches sent to torturous deaths. And most terrifyingly of all, Satan himself.
Welcome back to Most Haunted Live from Prague, a fascinating and beautiful city, and we are here in the cellars, in the basement of the Old Town Hall. Now, when I say Old Town Hall, it might sound quite prosaic, almost boring. Believe me, there is nothing boring about this building. It's been here since the 14th century, and these cellars were once the ground floor, but this building suffered so much flooding over the centuries, it was raised and built on, so this was the original ground level. This building, this part of the building, is something like 700 years old, so who knows what or who still lurks within these cellars. Now, we're going to be taking a look at what might be in store for the team tonight a little later. First, though, we want to hear from you, and you want to hear from us how you can get in touch with us. Here's Julian Clegg with more. Julian.
Thanks, Paul. And as ever, we want you to get in touch. No audience here, so all the more important that you contact us. I'll tell you how you can in just a few moments' time. What your messages, your experiences about Prague, about the Old Town Hall as well. Let's have a look at our interactive map. This is on the website. This is where our webcams are tonight. There we are, Night 1 Town Hall. We'll go through those. First of all, webcam 1 in the statue room. There it is. Webcam 2 in the well. Tonight, webcam 3 is in the underground room, and webcam 4, there it is, the storeroom. Let's go through those right now. First of all, webcam 1 in the statue room, which is at the far end of the building, by the way. If you see anything happening during the night, any unusual sightings, let us know. I'll tell you how to get in touch in just a moment. Moving on to webcam 2 is in one of the old wells, which was later used as a prison cell, and of course you can see Matt down there now, already experiencing things, I suspect. Moving on to webcam 3, it's in the underground room. There it is, and you can see the steps down there, or the ladder down there as well. This was used as a prison cell as well, interestingly. And webcam 4 is in one of the old storerooms. There it is. If you see anything tonight, let me know. Now, you can see the webcams and the map on our website, mosthauntedlive.net. And, of course, you can text your messages. I want to hear from you. Here's how you do. You text and then a space and then the word screen and your message to 80889. The text costs 50p plus one standard rate message. And for the first time on the live shows, the team will be tweeting live during the show. So for all you Twitter